Look, everything's all clear. Hello, welcome. If you watch this in the replay, make sure you leave a like, a comment, um, subscribe if you're new. Would love for you to do that. Anyway, also, if you watch, open up the live chat and see what's being said. It might be interesting. You never know. So, anyway, I am going on live, and in my mind, I had scheduled this so people would know I was going live at midnight on Saturday night. And then I found out that I had not done that. In my head, hey, Ash, I thought I had, done all that and had scheduled things, but I did schedule for tomorrow morning. So that's where the scheduling came in. In my head, I had scheduled up this whole thing. So we'll see who comes in. So, anyway, let's talk. Um, Now, even though it has been a pretty mild winter in Chicago, no complaints, especially after last year's polar vortex, which had us within the devil's titty of coldness. Hey, Michelle, it was the devil's titty of cold. It was that hell cold. Because I think there's a fire cold hell and a cold hell. Because, some of us don't mind the fire. So I think there's a hell for people in the cold. And polar vortex was the hell cold. Anyway, let me just go on. So this year has not been that bad. I cannot complain about the weather. It's been a pretty mild winter, barely any snow, a few cold days, but nothing like, minus 17,000 degrees. So no complaints. However, I am ready for spring. And the thing is I know some people live in different climates, but for people like me in Chicago and cold weather, there really is a thing about wearing, you wear the certain fragrances during the wintertime and during the summertime. Because there is a marked difference in our temperatures. Like, I know some of y'all can't understand this, but like summer here, I was yes, but I I am feeling a little sick, under the weather. However, I hit it hard quickly. Hey Tammy, so what I've been doing is I felt it. I got me some Zycam. I've been drinking cold soup, my tea, and I made me some cold soup. So I got my lemon ginger. Oh, I cannot wait to eat that tomorrow, because you know how you make something today, but then it sits and it marinates in that fragrance, so that soup is gonna be good tomorrow. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. But like here in Chicago, hey Danny, our temperatures are so different, and like summer in Chicago is very humid. So we have to deal with humidity, we have to deal with all this. And with cold, you do learn that there is something about cold weather fragrances. There are certain fragrances that just do so much better. Yes, soups and stews are always better day two. Um, it's so much better. There is something to say about the differences, because there's stuff that you really cannot wear in hot weather. And I know some people just don't see that, but if you live in cold, and you will see the difference. So with all that being said, we're about to hit spring, and I'm feeling spring like. And even though I love some of my fragrances, I am so ready to lighten it up, because the winter fragrances are very heavy. They're very deep, and sophisticated and sexy and sensual and all those things, and exotic, but they're also very heavy. So now I'm ready to lighten it up. So here's some that are going to get me from the transition from winter to spring, because you still need a little something, but you don't need it as deeply, right? Ooh, baby, right. A heavy fragrance and humidity will make you be like, ugh, you be hating that stuff. And certain fragrances do not do well in cold weather. Just really don't. There are fragrances that are made more, the more florals, the more fruities. Now, let me say this, because this is not something that's new. This type of video, this live. So, this is kind of a standard one that people do. So before somebody says that, oh, you got this from somebody. Actually, I've seen a few people do these transition ones. However, I just watched Rhonda Larice. She's my friend. She's my girl, and she did one. And there's like one particular fragrance that is coming from hers because I never even thought of it as a transition, but she made sense. I was like, okay. So let's get started. Now, for everybody who doesn't know, tomorrow morning there will be a visit from Big Son. I've decided I'm calling DJ Big Son because he's, Big Son, and then I got G Son, which is Bakari. So Big Son will be over, and he will be rating 20 fragrances tomorrow. Don't forget to give me some likes while you're here. All right, so let's talk about what transition fragrances mean to me, and then we'll get into the fragrances. All right, Hey Tracy, a transition fragrance to me is something that, now don't get me wrong, I wear these, and you can wear them in the springtime or something, but they kind of like bridge that gap between the winter time and the springtime, which means they kind of have some notes. DJ's a fool. We have this running joke that he has an assistant, and he's like, well, let me check with my assistant whenever I ask him something. Let me check my availability. Her name is Jenny. So so some things are kind of similar in reference to them. So they have some similarities. So some of the notes that we do in winter, which is like vanillas and some kind of like sweetness, whereas spring and thing is about florals. It's about more fruity fragrances. Well, these kind of bridge the gap between both of them because they kind of have that winter vibe with vanillas and tonka beans, but on the other hand, they've got this floral fruity vibe going on that's kind of that evokes spring and summer coming, those type of fragrances. I don't know why I'm looking crazy in this thing, but okay. So that's where I'm going with these. Did that make sense at all? Because I don't know if it did. Okay, but let's just talk. All right. What the hell is that? Rosemary. I was like, what the fuck is in my tea? It was in the pot from when I was making my other tea. Okay. This is mango pineapple. That's why I was confused. All right. So the first one I'm going to show is, now some of these I haven't really worn yet, and some things I actually have tried out, knew I was going to be using them in this time, when it got warmer out, things like that. So let's just go ahead. This one is new. This is the Hippie Chic. This is La Petite Robe Noire Hippie Chic. Now, I found this on Fragrance Net. Now, let me just tell y'all right now, it is sold out, but it might come back because they've been kind of doing this where they'll get something really quick and it'll sell out, but then it'll come right back again. So if you want to try this, this is it. Now, this is a floral fruity. I did talk about this in the Battle of My Cherries. This is a cherry almond, has vanilla, has tonka bean, licorice, raspberry, rose water. It's got this little rose vibe to it. So the reason why I say this is like a transition is because it has that cherry almond rose, but then it's got the vanillas and the tonka beans. And this is a very, it's kind of like, it's got a freshness to it. So it's a little crisp. And then it's got this fruity vibe to it, which gives it this like bubbly vibe to it. So it'll be a really pretty one to wear throughout this time, because with the almond and cherries, and with the vanilla and the tonka beans, so it's got a little richness and sweetness, but it also has a little playfulness, high indecence, how do I say that? But it has a playfulness to it with the cherry in it. So that's why this is one of my transition ones. Ha ha ha. Yes. All right, so that one's there. So now let's go to this one. I am so kind of proud of myself. Let me just tell y'all, I got notes here. I've got stuff written down. I was like really trying to be a better YouTuber. Y'all should be proud of me. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I don't need y'all to, jump through no hoops for me or nothing, but I'm a little more organized. So here we go. The next one is going to be Ellen Tracy Bronze. Now, this is an Oriental floral. Now, let me just tell you about this. This is one of those things that you we see this all the time. Girl, yes, I am all prepared. All prepared. We see this stuff all the time, and um we see this at Marshalls, TJ Maxx. This is so inexpensive. Ellen Tracy is so inexpensive. I don't even know who Ellen Tracy is, but she is always in there. This thing, let me tell you, this is 100 mils. I got this with a lotion, if I'm not mistaken, at Christmas time for $10.99. So Ellen Tracy can be hit or miss. What I did was I read up when I was there. I was like, well, okay, let's try her out. So this is $10.99 altogether, because you could get this stuff super cheap. Okay, now let me tell you though, this is actually a very pretty fragrance. Oh my goodness. Now I haven't worn it because like once I smelled it, I said, oh, this isn't like wintertime. This is more spring-like, but it's an Oriental floral, which if you know me, I love a good Oriental floral. Now I tried it on. It's very powdery. It has bergamot, green apple. It's got lemonade. I don't know what the hell lemonade means, but it's got violet leaf, mandarin orange, orange blossom, heliotrope. So it's got white florals in it. It's got a little amber in it. So it's really beautiful on. Now, let me just tell you, this is so funny because it's kind of got, now let me just say this. I don't want to say it's a mature fragrance, but it's a more classic fragrance. It's a classic powdery. Yes, it said, yes, I said lemonade. I read the notes. It said lemonade. But the bergamot, it has a citrus vibe to it, but it's got this sweetness to it. But it's a very powdery, it's got a lot of powder in it from the violet, because violet and iris give like a powdery vibe to your fragrances. So it's got a little, it's powdery, but when you wear it, because I did wear it one time and see how it is. Now, what it has also, it says it has coumarin. And I looked this up because I was like, what the hell is coumarin? And that's the crystals in tonka beans, which smells of almond and vanilla and hay. Right, right. Lemon water and sugar. Yeah, exactly. Ain't nothing wrong with a little lemon water and sugar in your life. Okay. So this is a very classic scent, right? It's very likable. You're not going to like offend anybody with it. This would be a really good everyday scent. And at $10.99, this is the kind of stuff you can work since. But this is like one of those ones you can leave at your job, just have it sitting there, and it wouldn't be likable. It will it's very pleasing to the nose, and no one would like complain about it. But it's a very lightweight, very effervescent kind of vibe, good. So let me just stop with her, because I was so surprised with Miss Ellen Tracy, because you see this Ellen Tracy stuff in TJ Maxx and Marshalls all the time, and don't you gloss over it, because we're like, who the hell is Ellen Tracy and why is she so cheap? Well, she's not so bad, y'all. She really is not. Miss Ellen is not that bad. I'm just here to say that. Where's she at? Okay. I'm just here to say that. This is the Tour Noir. This is by Serge Luton. This is a niche brand. However, you can find these on FragranceNet, on FragranceNet, Perfume.com, at really good prices. So if you're interested in them, especially the ones that have the white labels, because these are the older bottles and they have rebranded. And so they have black bottles now. They really expensive. But these are so I'm trying to get up all my Serge Luton. Hey Lisa, Right, right. I remember Ellen Tracy used to be a higher end brand, but she's nobody now. She's Ellen Tracy has been known for over a decade. Let's just be honest. Ellen Tracy is nobody. She's been nobody forever. Okay, I got rosemary in here from. Let me just eat the damn rosemary. Okay, never mind. I keep acting like I can't eat it. Okay, so this is an Oriental floral. Now, it has coconut, it has tuberose, it has tonka bean, it has almond, mandarin orange, osmanthus, heliotrope, apricot. It has quite a bit going on. Now, let me tell you about Serge Luton. Serge Luton is known for these very complex, very unique kind of vibes. Now, as I have said before, this smelled like good hair grease to me. It just smelled like good hair grease to me. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm sorry, I think the cat is about to drop these kittens and I'm watching her. Okay, so anyway, I don't know how you gonna get your fat behind through that door. Okay, so anyway, so now this has many notes that are very similar to Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, but it doesn't read like that. What it reminds me of is kind of alienish. And the reason why I say that is not because it smells like alien, because I'm still not like an alien. I'm still going back and forth with alien, but because it has this very um, not expected, not, you know, this isn't like the regular scent that I'm used to. However, it is a really good, it's a floral. Datura is a flower. So it is a very nice, it has a very serious white floral base with the tuberose and the osmanthus and the heliotrope. So it has a lot of white florals in it, which you can smell, which come together to make this really pretty smell. But then it has the vanilla and the tonka bean and everything. So to give it a nice little flirty, flirtatious kind of vibe. So when you're wearing it, now let me tell you, girl, okay. So this is kind of uncommon. That's what I want to say about it. It's kind of unique in its own way, but it's also um it's kind of provocative. And the reason why I say that is because not from a standpoint of like you're going to be like, "Oh my," but because it stands out. It really does stand out. So when you're wearing it, you smell good. And it doesn't have a little it has a little coconut in it. Yeah, them kittens is overrated. Human babies are not overrated. It's them kittens because they have multiples. Let's not forget. So with the coconut and everything, it has a creaminess to it. So it really does stand out more than I thought it was. It's not expensive hair grease. It's actually a really beautiful, gorgeous scent. Okay, I'm gonna stop calling it expensive hair grease. This was what I thought it was. This one I want. Okay, now I have three of these. I think there's one I'm missing, but I have the three of these. I have the Dahlia Divine, and then I have the Dahlia Divine Le Nectar and the Dahlia Divine Nude. Now I think they all have different stages. Don't you say that. Don't you say that, Tammy. I think they all have different stages in times to wear it, right? So this is the original. This is Givenchy Dahlia Divine. This is another Oriental floral. Do y'all see a pattern here? Do y'all see a pattern here? Because there's a lot of as I was going through these, I was like, these are a lot of Oriental vanillas. I mean, yeah, Oriental florals. Clearly I have a style, a type. So this is a Oriental floral, and the reason why I picked this one for more the transition, uh, right? I'm gonna be giving y'all all, yeah, right. They're gonna be sitting in the car waiting for y'all in little boxes. Take this thing with you. Don't play with me. So this one. The reason why I picked this one is because this one is like really that transition time. It's a floral. Oh my God, it's a beautiful floral, but it has pink pepper. It has citruses. It has white florals in it. It has jasmine sambac, it has black currant, it has apple, peach. So it's got this floral, but it's like got the fruits in it too. But the fruits are very subtle as opposed to the florals. The florals are what really stand out. Whoops. The hell did I just do? And it's got the black currant. So the fruits are like supporting players to the florals and the citrus. The citrus and the florals really are the ones that you smell. And then that musk in it, but it's got a white musk. So it's not a super heavy animalic kind of musk. It's just got enough musk to take down the citrus and the florals, because you want your florals to have a little you need to balance out your florals, right? You need to balance out the florals, because if it's too floral, it's too like immature. Let's just be honest. It smells like something you should be giving to a little girl, right? Tammy, go into Ulta, because you can find they're still 50% off. They're getting rid of them. So they're 50% off. So it's like so it's a really sophisticated floral for you, as opposed to that little girly floral. It's got a beautiful scent to it. This is like the floral for that well-bred lady who's gonna go off and have tea, with her girls. They're gonna go out for afternoon tea. This is kind of like what I would wear if I was going to tea with the girls, and I have done tea with the girls. Oh, we should have a tea party at my house soon. Never mind. I just had a whole conversation with myself. They're not. Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, because they're getting rid of them. So they're selling them. They're only in store, and you gotta find. Listen, I hit the last one of the nudes. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just telling you the truth. I just hit one. So yeah, this is more of a for hi Rita D. So this is a very tasteful floral for when you're going out to have tea with the girls. You're gonna have brunch. This is a beautiful brunch fragrance. I'm just saying, beautiful. I'm sorry. So that is Givenchy Dahlia Divine. All right, now this one, and you'll see how much I paid for it. This is English Laundry Oxford Blue Femme. And I got this at Marshall's over Christmas time for $12.99. Now, the pricing online is much more expensive now, because I should have bought another one. They had two of these different ones in here, but I only picked out one. But I should have got another one, because now that I really smelled it, did I put this in? I love it. And I heard about it. The reason why I heard about it was I was like, when you start watching videos, you see stuff. And I saw this guy talking about the English laundry ones. He was talking about his wife really liked them, and she was getting them. And she was getting them in Marshall's. And I just so happened to be in Marshall's a couple of days later. I was like, oh, yeah, that's what that guy was talking about. Now, here's the deal. This is not on Fragrantica. They have some of them on Fragrantica, because English Laundry is more known, I guess, for men's fragrances. They only have 4 of these. Now I want the other 3, but I only want them at $12.99 because I'm cheap like that. Because I went on fragrancenet.com, and this damn thing was like $40-some. And I was like, use a $40-some lie. But these are unboxed. I'm sorry, it just went off. Anyway, I think this is a floral fruity, because and I had to hunt to get the notes. So here are the notes. It has citrus in it, has melon, has jasmine, amber, vanilla, and sandalwood. So it's a really not that very complex fragrance. And this is all that English Laundry puts on theirs. And I definitely get the citrus and the melon. So it's got that fruity smell on the top. It's got that fruity scent on the top. But then the jasmine starts coming in. So it like bold, takes it and makes it a bolder fragrance, because I really like floral fruities. I don't like just fruity. Fruity's got to have some, because, well, depending on how it's done. Fruity is more about summertime. You do fruity flavor serious fruity stuff, it's for the summertime. This is like, this kind of like in between time. This is a good one for that, because this is like, this got the amber and the vanilla, and it's got that buttery sandalwood. So when it dries down, you still get hints of the melon, which I love the scent of melon. You know, this is like something that you don't see a lot, but I do love the scent of melon. I especially love like honeydew. Oh, honeydew melon just smells so good in fragrance. I don't really like honeydew melon, but I like it in fragrance. And then the jasmine then brings it down to this beautiful, um, how do I want to say this? Mm, it's crisp. It has a crispness to it, kind of natural feel to it. So it's not, it's a like a light, airy vibe to it. But then and then when you dries down, the sandalwood, you know, mellows it out. So then the fruit and the floral gets mellowed out by the sandalwood, and you still get it in the amber, and then that vanilla gives it just a little sweetness. So that's English Laundry Oxford Blue Femme. Like I said, if you can find these in um, Marshalls or something, snatch them. They're $12.99. You know. Yeah. See, right. I'm not. I the only thing. I'm black. I love me some watermelon. I'm just gonna say it. I like some watermelon. I like watermelon, pineapple, and mango with some tahini on it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I like me some tahini on it. All right, next up. These right here. Now we know I like this. This is Shalimar Souffle Intense. This is Oriental Floral. Let's just say who she is. She is bergamot. Yes, mango, lime juice, and tahini. Yes, pineapple. Yes, Michelle. Right here, right here. Okay, this is an Oriental Floral. Surprise, surprise. This is an Oriental Floral, but this is a citrus vanilla with some white florals in it. This is just, oh. Now, let me just say, this is Workday Chic. I've already said this. This is watermelon, pineapple, and mango. You got that right, sister. That's always what we need at a party. A party. So this is water. This has bergamot, mandarin orange, and lemon in the top. So when you spray this on, it's got a citrus, but it's not that super citrus burst, because sometimes citruses can be so over the top and it's hard to deal with, where this is definitely a more refined citrus. Whereas, citruses can be like light blue, like, Dolce and Gabbana light blue kind of vibes. Right. Ooh, that sounds so good. See, that's but this is a very, hi Miss V. This is a very cultured, very classy, very swanky citrus, if you get what I'm saying, because it doesn't come off as like a citrus bomb that makes you feel like, oh, kind of cheap. Because sometimes citrus can be very cheap smelling, where this is not. It then has orange blossom and jasmine in the heart notes, and then it dries down with vanilla, musk, and benzoin. So it's very sweet and rounded out. And as we said, it's like a lemon pound cake, but it's a very beautiful. It's like that lemon pound cake when you go to like a high-end bakery and they drizzle it with the glaze. It's not that lemon pound cake from home that you have at home. This is those little tiny lemon pound cakes you get where it's got the little glaze on it, and it's just so fragrant, and it just makes you feel like you're doing something extra bougie, richy. What the fuck? But it's like that bougie lemon pound cake, not your home style. Mm-mm. And it wears well for every day. It has a subtleness to it, but it lasts long. And on me, and you know, on me, things do not last long. So if you don't hear me talk about longevity, if you don't hear me talk about longevity a lot, it's because things don't really last long with me. Two things: it's not so much about me not being moisturized, because my skin is pretty moisturized. It's because my body temperature is pretty cool, so I don't have that heat coming off me to kind of project things, and things like that. So things wear off on me a little faster than on most people. So longevity, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I don't get like 8 to 10 hours. Like people like, oh my god, this is on for 10 to 12 hours without I don't care about respraying, because my whole thing is this: I got a whole bottle of this stuff. Why would I care if I respray it here and there? What's the point of? I just have a thing about that. In my mind, it feels like this: what's the point? So I'm trying to save it forever. If it's a fragrance that I'm wearing, I like it, why don't I just spray the shit on again? I'm just saying. Okay, but that's another conversation that we could be having. But anyway, Shalimar Souffle Intense transition from winter to spring. I'm just saying. Okay. Next up is Oud Velvet by Montal. Now they don't. You can't get these. You have to like kind of find the little bottles, because really Montal is only doing. They kind of discontinued these, so they're pretty much only doing the bigger bottles. So I was having to get this one. Coco sent me this one. So if you could find the 1.7s at a good price, go ahead and grab some of these. Anyway, this is a floral woody musk, which is something different than what I have. Now, this is a oud. We know I love oud. We know that oud is my jam. But let me tell you why I like this for the winter to spring, because most of the woods, most of the ouds are kind of more winter, fall, winter, because they tend to be very heavy, very very heavy, very sweet. Right, right. I don't see no shame in the respray. Everybody, as like, I'm getting me some more travel spray ones so that I can decant into them and carry them with me. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. But anyway, um, so many ouds are very heavy, very very fall and winter. They're very spicy, they're very dense, they're very rich. Whereas I like this one because it isn't that. Now, it is, when you first put it on, it does have, and it is very strong on the oud. So if you don't like oud, which is very woody, that's where the wood comes from, this would not be for you. However, part of the reason why I like this is because it has tiare flower and jasmine, which is different than my other ouds, because most of the ouds I have are rose ouds, because that's kind of like the standard. Most of the time you get a oud, it usually has rose in it. This one has absolutely no rose in it. So it's a more white, so it's a white floral oud, which I love because it makes it a little different. It has sandalwood and vanilla and tonka bean. So there's a sweetness to it, which you kind of need with oud. That does help to like temper the oud, so it's not so skanky, not so in your face. And then the sandalwood brings it down with a little creaminess. But I like it because it has a lightness to it that most ouds don't. So this is a very light oud. Once you get past the original oud in it, if you can get past the top notes where the oud is like strong, it dries down to this really pretty, airy, light oud, white floral. It's like a white floral oud, sweet, with a little sweetness in it. And so that's why it really resonates during this. It will really smell really well in this time of year, because it's not that heavy duty rose oud that so many of them are. So this is Montal's Oud Velvet. It's got like, it's got that creaminess. Okay. Hope I made that clear. It's got that creaminess, y'all. Got that creaminess. Now, what's going to happen? Let me just say y'all this. Once we get through with this, I'm wide awake. So I'm going to end this one as soon as I'm done with it. And then we're going to go on and have our chat fest because I don't want this to run too long from a fragrance standpoint. And then we're going to have our little chat. All right, let's go. So now next, this is Wish by Chopard, and this is an Oriental Vanilla. Now, the thing with this is that this baby has so many notes in it. It's ridiculous. I'm just gonna read some of them. I didn't even write them all down, but it is full of white florals. It has jasmine, orange blossom, osmanthus, lily of the valley, heliotrope. It is full of white florals. It also has vanilla, tonka bean, caramel, sandalwood, amber, patchouli. Now, this was just me putting down a few things, right? Now, trust me, there's a lot more that is in this fragrance. The thing with this one is you can either go, when you put too many notes in a fragrance, it can go bad or it can be okay. You know, some things can be too simple, not enough notes, it's not a complex enough. This could be overly complex, but for some reason, all the notes work together. I mean, it has some crazy ass notes in it. What was one of them? I got them written. I have them in my database. It's like so much stuff in there. I'm like, what? Where did you come with this? So it's got like Brazilian rosewood. It's got just all kinds of things in it, and but for some reason it works. So it is an Oriental vanilla, but it's really about I don't know why it wasn't a Floriental because it really is heavy on the white florals, and the vanilla is there, and it's got the tonka bean, it's got caramel, it's got toffee in it, so it has all the sweetness in it, but the sweetness isn't so much that it's hard to wear. You know, because sometimes if you put in all those sweet things, they can be kind of cloying. It really isn't. It's a very striking fragrance. It really is because it has the ability to smell a little different on almost everybody based on the fact it has all these notes in it. So, Chopard Wish. That was because this thing could have impaled me. We know this is like a weapon. That could have been bad, y'all. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I almost hurt myself. I almost hurt myself with that one. Where is this one at? I know I have some notes on this one. Hold on, let me go for her. I thought I had something written about this one. Maybe I did not. Okay, I don't. And that's okay because I know what I want to say about her. Okay, so this is one y'all gonna be like, really? I have now found this love for Elizabeth Arden. You know, back in the day, Elizabeth Arden fragrances, let's just be honest, because we were younger back then, were for the old chicks. Let's just be honest. All the old chicks was rocking Red Door. Red Door was every old woman's. She was being funky and being funky and stuff. She was wearing Red Door, right? Well, I keep getting the rosemary in my mouth. This is a flanker called Red Door Shimmer. I do not like Red Door. It just reminds me of all the older ladies who's I'm a sister and all of them was wearing it. Ugh. Right. Okay, so no. But let me tell you about Red Door Shimmer. This is a floral fruity, and she is so much better than you would think. It doesn't really smell like Red Door, which is a good thing. It doesn't really have the DNA of it. So it smells totally different. There's another one that I want to. I'm actually going to wind up doing an Elizabeth Arden whole review night because I've kind of got a few of them. Wait until y'all see. So anyway, this has pink pepper, pear, and blackberry on the top. So it has this spicy, floral, fruity smell to it, which is awesome. I think that I really love when you get a little spiciness with the fruit because it takes them down. It takes it from, like I said, that more immature, very young vibe to a more elegant vibe on a fruitiness. So it has that pink pepper, which gives it a little spice. It also has gardenia, peony, sandalwood, and tonka bean. Yep, I'm working on something with those, Lisa. Just wait, just wait on that. Yes. So it is just, it had, when I was like, oh my goodness, this is so nice. And it lasts. I wore this one night to sleep because I was like, okay, this isn't something I would wear this time of year, but it would, I'll wear some to go to sleep in, like a bedtime fragrance. I woke up and I was smelling this. It was like, oh my God, I smell so good. So it has this beautiful floral, fruity smell. The florals take over, and then you got that tonka bean in it with the little sandalwood to give it a little creaminess. So it is a much more elegant take on a fruitiness. And it's, mm, 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 mm. It just makes me happy when I smell it. And it's just more it's definitely not like the red door that we know. It's definitely got a shimmery vibe to it. Girl, watch this. Shut up, Tammy. Watch this. I'm gonna watch this. Watch this. You ain't gonna be ready. Um, it definitely has a fruitiness, but the florals combined together to be a very elegant, but um, when do you see this? Um, got a little juiciness to it, but a very elegant floral fruity. So this is Red Door Shimmer by Elizabeth Arden. I will be rocking her. Okay, so we put her away. All right, now this one was from from Rhonda Larice. And the reason why I say this is because she was talking about this on her transition. And I was like, huh. Now, let me say that this is the only Juicy Couture I have. And I got this on a super buy. I think I paid like $15 for this. Remember when I got that 75% off stuff at Ulta that time where I went and I got 75% off clearance? I think I might have paid like $12 for it. So it was like, okay, I'm buying Juicy Couture today. Now this is Juicy Viva La Juicy Glacé. This is glacé, right? Now, this is a floral fruity, which is kind of like the Juicy Couture vibe, but I will say, because I have smelled a lot of Juicy Coutures, and the reason why this makes it from transition is because it's not as sweet. One of the things about the Viva La Juicy line is that it's very, very sweet. This is not as sweet. This has mandarin orange, it has pear, it has orange blossom, it has jasmine, it has amber, and it has musk. So it is not that sweet, sweet, sweet Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy vibe. It's a much more laid back, much more I would say grown up version of Viva La Juicy, because Viva La Juicy tends to be, when I think of Viva La Juicy, I think of younger women wearing it. And not to say that we can't wear whatever we want, but it just vibes off. We know that Viva La Juicy, like Juicy Couture's market was younger women. It was, they did not, they, even though we liked it and I got Juicy Couture bags and stuff, their primary target market was the younger women. So their fragrances were made for younger women. But this one is a little more adult. So this is like the Viva La Juicy that's a little more adult, where it is not quite as syrupy as the other ones are, where it is just a little more what do I want to call it? It has a little more style to it. It's a little more stylish, because I find Viva La Juicy's can be a tad linear, very similar to me. So this one is a little more stylish, even though, and I like it because it's got the pink little bow and everything. I'm never taking this thing off because I love it just like this. All right. Now, this was where I was supposed to stop because I was going to do 10. Well, we got 12. And the reason why we have 12 is because I was in the store today looking at things for Bakari, but I didn't find anything. And I happened upon a couple of fragrances. And I got them, and I blind bought them, didn't look at nothing. I was like, oh, okay, the price is kind of good. Okay. So speaking of provocative, this is Elizabeth Arden, Provocative Woman. This baby was like $12.99, y'all. $12.99. Look at, first off, let's talk about the bottle. The box is kind of cute. Look at that box. Okay, so the box now, let me just show you this. And once I opened them and smelled them, I was like, oh yeah, I'm wearing these. Okay, so look at this bottle. First off, I was so, hey Kelly, I was so surprised at this bottle from Elizabeth Arden because it's very avant-garde. You know what I'm saying? It's very modern. Whereas when you think Elizabeth Arden, you think, we know we think old lady, right? Well, this comes off very, very sophisticated and modern. And it's just very, look at the lines on this, right? Now, I read up on it, but I'm going to tell you. So, this was actually made for Catherine Zeta Jones. This was who they had as their inspiration, was this. And it was supposed to be a provocative woman, supposed to be like very, exotic and everything. So, I'm here to tell y'all it's not that exotic. It's the Oriental floral. It has raspberry, peach, ginger, pink freesia, orchid, papaya, apricot, amber, and sandalwood, and a couple of other things. Now, it is not that provocative. It is not that exotic to me. I have things that are much more exotic. Um, but it does have but it is very striking. It has a slight extravagance to it. Not that I would say that this is like super exotic. And I know why they're saying it because they put through a little ginger in there. They put a little, orchid and papaya in there to like give us a little, oh, we're going to make it exotic. We're going to put some exotic stuff in there. But it really isn't that exotic. I like that it has amber, it has sandalwood in it. So it has a dry down that will be we'll even it out and take and balance out those fruity fragrances in here, the notes in here. So I can't wait to see how this wears. And like I said, I'm going to do a whole Elizabeth Arden night because apparently I have more than I thought about Elizabeth Arden. So yeah, this is just like, so it was so surprising. Because like I said, I just bought it because it's $12.99. I was like, well, if I don't like it, it was only $12.99. It ain't gonna kill me. But it's just, so I cannot wait to wear it. I mean, it's just so cute. It's just so not Elizabeth Arden. Or is it just me? Okay. Then the last one I got, and then I had to put this one in, is this one right here. And this is Emozione, I guess that's how you say it, by Ferragamo. Now, let's just take a moment to look at the bottle. I think this is almost like leather kind of vibe on the sides, and it's got this little thing here. And I was like, okay, when I opened her, when I opened her up, I was like, okay, I like you. You're cute. These are some very statuesque bottles, right? It's like, okay. Oh, let me. I gotta change these out for DJ for tomorrow. But anyway, so let me tell you, this is a Chypre floral. Now, if you don't know what Chypre is, Chypre means that they have more, they're kind of woody, they have a woody smell, woody kind of base to them. So there's a stronger woody. It's very more herbaceous, more natural smelling. It has like a more forest kind of vibe to it. That's what it's supposed to have, right? I don't think I sprayed anything on here. Okay, so let's talk about it because I smelled this. I was like, okay. Now, first off, look at this spray. Do y'all see how beautiful that spray is? Do y'all see how beautiful that spray is? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go. All right. So I smelled it. I was like, ooh. So this has bergamot, peach, and iris, which iris gives it a kind of powdery vibe. but it's not too much iris, because iris can be too much for me. Iris is one of those things that I'm not a huge fan of, but if done well, it smells good. So it has that iris powdery vibe to it with the peach and the bergamot. This got heliotrope, peony, and rose. So it's got the florals in it. And the thing is with this, the only thing that's sweetening it up is the peach, because yeah, it has a little peach, and the peach is just enough to balance, to sweeten up these florals. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then it has suede, patchouli, and white musk. So therefore, it has this really musky kind of semi-masculine hint to it under, base notes, which combine with these florals to give it a very, and I don't necessarily say super unisex. Actually, it is kind of. I think a man could wear this and get away with it, because it's floral. It's got a little sweetness, and it's got this undertones of suede and musk and patchouli in it. And so it's like, yes, we could wear this. It definitely, I wouldn't say it's kind of captivating. It's very but you know what? It doesn't smell bad. It really doesn't. I'm going to, what the hell? We'll just put it on now. We'll talk about it as I do my other one. So, but the damn sprayer is love. It's just a beautiful mist of fragrance that comes out. So, yeah. So, but yeah, it's very, from what I know at this point, because I really haven't worn it yet. I just, smelled it a little bit today since I got it. It's definitely is could be very intense and dazzling. It has this like kind of vibe to it that makes me feel like it's going to be intense on the skin, but in a slightly different way. Yep, I could definitely wear. Oh yeah, you got to love a good sprayer. It has a certain extravagance to it with all the florals that will make you go, oh my goodness. Very heady. Has a very heady scent to it that as you breathing it in, it's like, okay, okay, I see where y'all was going with this. This is very inviting, very inviting. It has a little flirtatious vibe to it because it's got that floral coming in. But then it's, okay, we're gonna invite you in, and then we're gonna tone it down just a little bit with this one. All right. So this is the last one. This is Emozione or something by Ferragamo. I really like the bottle though. So, part of the thing about buying fragrances is the presentation and the bottles. So this is it for my winter to spring transition collection. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I am going to end this one now, and then we will start just a chit chat, our late night Lou on a Saturday night chit chat. So don't go away. We're gonna start another one. I don't even know what we're talking about, but we'll see.